Hello viewers, in this particular video, we are going to talk about what is private registry, why we need to create it and how to create it, right? So now in earlier videos, we have already discussed about how to create the images and how we can push those images to the public registry, right? But now in this particular video, we are going to talk about how to create a private registry. Now, the first question is why we need a private registry? Okay, if we have a public registry already, why can't we use it? So the main reason behind is the security. As we all know that if it is an open source product, definitely you can create the images and you can push it to the public registry, which is accessible to everyone. Of course, we have a option to make it private as well, but the challenge is that public registry is available somewhere on the remote. So obviously, when you want to push and pull the image to the somewhere remote location, obviously it is going to take some time. So having private registry somewhere in your organizational network, that will benefit. First, the topmost benefit is the security, and the second is about the time required to push and pull the images, right? So we are talking about this registry part, and this is something we are going to create it in our organizational network, right? So let's see how to create it. We'll directly do the practical part of it. It's a very simple, we can do it. So basically, we have seen the public registry, which is already available, and we have seen how to push and pull. Now, the next question is, obviously, when you want to create a private registry, we need an application that can understand all the Docker image layers, which can store internally all those layers. And then whenever someone requests it, someone wants to pull that image, okay, he should be able to, that private registry should be able to give that image, all the layers of that image. So from the Docker community, they have already provided such application in one of the image. We call that image as a registry. The name of that image is a registry. So to create a private registry, it's a very simple. You have to just pull that registry image and you have to start the container. Now the container will work as a private registry where you can push and pull the images. So let's see practically how we can do that. So we already know how to create a container. So simply we can do Docker run. We can provide -d to run this container in the background mode. Then we can provide some name. I'll just provide the name it as a private registry. Then we know that we need to provide the port, right? So -p, in the port, we need to provide the host machine port and the container port. So this registry application, the private registry application runs on the 5000 port of your container. So I'll just bind it to the host machine 5000 port as well. Okay. And then finally provide the image name. So we have the image name as a registry. Okay. And then the latest version for the registry is 2. Okay. That is what we are specifying. So as soon as I just run this, it will pull this registry image. And then from this image, it will create a container called private registry. So let's run and see if this is happening. So first of all, if it is checking if this particular image is available locally, if not, it is pulling it, right? So it got pulled and container got created. So if I do Docker ps-a to see the running container, you can see image is pulled and now the container is also running. Now what next? Once container is running, now this container is running as a kind of a private registry where we can push and pull the image. So earlier, if you remember, if you want to push the image to public registry, we had to tag our image with that public registry Docker ID. So similarly, when you want to push the image to the private registry, there also we need to specify where you want to push it. So for that reason as well, we need a tagging, right? So let's see how we can do this. Basically, right now we have this only registry image. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just pull one image. So we'll do Docker pull, and let's pull the Ubuntu 2004 image, right? So I'm just pulling this particular image from the public registry. I'm pulling it to my Docker host, right? So now on my Docker host, that particular image is available. But now from my Docker host, I want to push this image to my private registry. So how we can do that? First of all, we need to tag this image to with our private registry details. So how we can do that? So Docker tag is a command. Now our private registry is running on localhost. Okay, first we need to provide the image that we want to tag. So which image we want to tag? It's a Ubuntu colon 2004. This is the image we want to tag. And then where you want to tag it? Our private registry details, which is running on localhost 5000 port. Okay, and then you can provide the image name. So it's a Ubuntu 2004. That's it. So if you run it, and now if you go back and do Docker images, you can see this time the image got just tagged with localhost 5000 / Ubuntu 2004. That's it. Now image got tagged. So how you can push it now? Pushing is very simple. You have to just do Docker push and the image name. Okay, colon 2004. So when you run this command, now instead of pushing this image to public registry, this time it will push this image to the private registry because we tagged our image with the private registry details, right? So let me run it. So it's trying to push. You will also observe the time required to push this image. Okay, it's a very small because now this private registry is running inside your network itself. So that's why the time required to push the image and time required to pull the image would be very fast. Okay, so that's why it's preferred to have a private registry, right? So now you might have a question like how you can where all these images are stored and all. So basically, we have just now created one container, and inside that container under varlib registry directory, all these images get stored, right? But now we have not provided any volume to our container. As we know, containers are by default stateless. Okay, they don't have any permanent memory. So as soon as container goes down, all the things that are stored on the container will also get lost. So if you want your images in the private registry to be persisted across the lifetime of your container, in that case, it's better to attach a volume to the private registry container, right? So how you can do that? It's a very simple. It's a same procedure. Only thing is whatever run command we have used, we have to just use a -v, and you can have any host path where you want to store the image that you just need to bind it with a varlib registry path. That's it. So now internally, this container this is the path where it is storing all the images that are pushed. Okay. So now we are mounting a volume from our host machine, that is /opt path, to this particular location. So now whatever is getting stored under that varlib registry, that is something will be stored on the /opt directory. So even if your container goes down, that volume will be, all those images will be still there on the /opt directory. Okay, so that if you just recreate the container, all the images will be there. Okay, so that part you guys can try out. I'll just redirect it to the one document as well where I have all the step-by-step instruction. But now let me tell you how you can view all the images which we have pushed on the private registry. So basically for that, we have one REST API, we can use it. Our private registry is running on localhost :5000. We are using a v2 image. So we have a v2 API, and then it's a _catalog. Okay, so if you run it, you can see repository is nothing but the images. So we pushed Ubuntu image, so we can see here. So if you push multiple images, all the list of images, you will be able to see it here, right? Then this is what I wanted to show you, how we can create the private registry. Let me just quickly show you the document where you can find how to create a private registry, a step-by-step document. So here you can see creating a private registry. This is the document, you will find it. So I'll just share this document in the description link. So just go ahead and use that document to try whatever we have discussed step by step. So that's it for this video. Thanks everyone. I hope everyone liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel and share it with your network. Thanks everyone.